Good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Morning Live right here on Mike Avery Outdoors on the Facebook page, on the YouTube channel. My name is Mike Avery, and I am so glad to once again have you along with us as I do a little bit of a microphone shuffle, the broadcast mic and the social media mic. And my name is Mike. There are actually three mics in the shot right now. Good morning, John. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. I hope you're enjoying your lack of school now. Tim, my friend, always a pleasure to have you along with us as well. I will not continue to click on the comments because I don't want to bump the camera on my iPad. I can do that when we do a Wednesday night live. Good morning, Cap, or good morning, Craig. How are you? Hey, Craig, I forgot to thank you last Wednesday night. Good morning, Terry. I forgot to thank you, Craig, last Wednesday night for the gift of the 3 Purple Cougar number 7 Flicker Shads. Appreciate it. Ray Burbay checking in. Ross says, you got to say it. Mike, what day is it? It's hump day, hump day, hump day. Sheboygan checking in. Eric, good morning. How are you? Captain Brian Stroick along with us. Brian, did you submit your paperwork to the Coast Guard yet? That is the fun part. Hey, Ed Bolanowski of Speedy Blaze, speedyblaze.com. It's one thing to get through the class. It's another thing to take the Coast Guard exam and then pass it. But then you've got a ream of paperwork to submit to the Coast Guard. And it takes a while to get that all done. And I did mine right during the heart of COVID, so mine was a little bit slower. Kevin's along with us. Jerry's along with us. Brad has 2 Brads along with us. Brian has it ready to send in. You were way ahead of me then, my friend. I dragged my feet. It took me a while, but I got it. I got it done. And now it's just a matter of getting back out in the bay. I've been on the bay twice, actually. First time I took a few passes up to the Skinny Water, couldn't get any fish. We were out there Monday, and we got one nice fish. But it's time to run deeper. You were waiting on your TWIC card. I got my TWIC card early. Doug says, thanks for sharing the new Angler Quest last week on Wednesday Night Live. Michael Essie checking in from Jefferson North Assembly Plant. God morning, my brother. God morning, my brother, to you, Mike. Yeah, last Wednesday night, I took a look at the Angler Quest there on the dock. Next Wednesday night, not tonight, but next Wednesday night, we will do a Wednesday night live from Saginaw Bay, fishing with Brad Dupuis of Apex Marine. Brad will show us how he fishes jet divers and spoons for walleye on Saginaw Bay, and he's very, very good at it. I'm actually thinking about tomorrow. I'm fishing tomorrow morning. In fact, hopefully much of the day tomorrow. I'm actually thinking, and hang on to your coffee here. I have a buddy, Tony, who's fishing with me tomorrow, who is a crawler guy. I'm thinking about allowing him, unknowing to me, of course. You got 2 walleye out by the spark plug last evening, still pretty slow fishing. Free fishing weekend coming up. That's true. This weekend? No, next weekend. I'm thinking about letting Tony, as long as I don't know about it, sneak some crawlers onto the Angler Quest. I know. Pretty drastic, huh? But listen, I am stubborn. I am bullheaded. I am pig-headed, but I'm not dumb. I know I said it, Tim. And if there was ever a summer to, I know, say it isn't so. It's bad mojo. I won't officially condone it. But if he unknowingly sneaks some on there, I can maintain my dignity because I won't know about it. But if there ever was a summer to experiment with those slimy things, this would be the summer to do it. I'm not saying I'm going to embrace it. I'm not saying it would be my go-to. Good morning, Johnny. How are you? I'm not saying it would be my go-to tactic. I'm just saying it might be a last resort if I can't get them going on plastic or metal. It's pretty clear the skinny water is not going to be good this year. I'm going to have to go. No, I didn't cave into the pressure, Jim. I don't cave into pressure. I don't. I don't care about what other people think. I could care less. But when I do have trips that I need to catch fish for people, and nothing else is working, I might take a look at it. Well, I hope you guys realize with the whole crawler thing, that was as much as a joke as anything. Good morning, Raymond. How are you? What would Jesus do? Allowing people to bring crawlers on your boat? He would probably say, "No, my brothers, no crawlers on my boat." We'll see. I actually don't even know how to run crawlers because I've never done it. Improvise and overcome. Got to do what you got to do. Speaking of that, okay, welcome, by the way. Welcome to the month of June. We haven't talked since it's been June, and it looks like the month is going to be off to a pretty good start, at least for weather-wise. Did you remember to get your bear and elk application in if you're here in Michigan? If not, you missed the deadline. Randy says fishing was great yesterday, but Randy, you're one of those guys who runs crawlers, aren't you? Tim says Jesus used a net. He cheated. Good point, Tim. I could just throw a net out there and trawl with it. You notice I didn't say troll with it. Turkey season here in Michigan is over. I told you I was done turkey hunting, but I lied because I cut down a lilac tree at the corner of the house last weekend. And my wife Denise and I took the brush took it over to a brush pile at my buddy Doug's place. Mike says, to be honest, Jesus would just tell the fish to get in the boat. I'll try that tomorrow. I'll see how that works for me. And as I was throwing this big lilac bush onto the brush pile, Denise said, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "No, what was it?" She said, "There's a bird gobbling back by the woods." So we took a drive back by the woods, and lo and behold, at 2:00 in the afternoon, there was a bird gobbling his head off just into the woods. And I thought, I might give it one more try, because if that bird is gobbling like this in the middle of the day, he might be susceptible or receptive to some calls the next day. So Bob Ransom at Primal Tree Stands had sent me one of the new Breeze blinds designed for warm weather hunting. And you know how much I like the Wraith blinds? This Breeze blind is pretty cool as well. Killing it on the bay, handmade harnesses using different blades and beads seem to keep my box full. You crawler guys are killing me, but I might reluctantly not embrace it, but I might mess around with it, no pun intended, a little bit this summer. Might have to, right? Good morning, Patrick. How are you? So anyway, I set this Breeze blind up back on the edge of the woods. I got out there at 1:30 in the afternoon, and as I'm setting the blind up, the bird is gobbling again just into the woods. And I thought, this is a hot bird. I mean, he was probably 50 yards into the woods. How do you tell when the leaves have fleshed out, right? So I got the blind set up. The whole time I'm setting it up, I'm trying to be quiet because he's making noise like crazy. I get the decoy out there, I get the camera set up. I'm ready to go. I make one call, and he explodes. I made another call. He exploded again, and I shut up because I said, this bird is coming. And now it's like 1:45 in the afternoon. He gobbled a few more times. I could tell he was working my direction. Then he shut up. I said, he shut up because he can now see my decoy and he's coming in. Turns out he circled around behind me. He didn't come in front of me. He circled around behind me. So this breeze blind is not 270 degrees of visibility. You actually have to put one of the flaps down to see out the side. So I'd had the flap down. I leaned back and I peeked out, and there, 15 yards from the blind, is a big longbeard in strut. And now I can hear him. He's humming. He's like, I'm thinking, this is the second to last day of the season. And this is the closest encounter I've had with a bird. I'm going to kill this bird. He slowly worked his way toward my decoy. I had a single hen decoy out there. I probably should have had a Jake with it too, but I didn't. And I'm hunting at a Christmas tree farm. And Ross, you know exactly where it is. And there are some small trees about 4 feet high interspersed in front of me. And this stupid bird kept going from Christmas tree to Christmas tree. When he was between trees, he was outside of my range of my recurve. When he got within range of the recurve, he was behind Christmas trees. And I never did get a shot at that bird. But it got me thinking, as long as I'm in this self-evaluation mode of thinking like I might actually experiment with night crawlers this summer, I got thinking about this. I have always said the goal of a hunt for me is not the harvest. It's not the kill. It is the experience of being out there. But I have to admit, after turkey hunting fairly hard for 6 weeks and having some close encounters and having at least 3 different experiences where if I would have had a shotgun or even a crossbow, I could have killed a bird, I made a decision. The next time I'm in the woods hunting, and I'd like it to be in Ontario for a bear hunt, but it won't be. It'll be for a deer hunt. I'm actually going to have a crossbow in my hands. Because there would have been something extraordinarily rewarding about hunting for 6 weeks and then finally killing a bird on the second to last day of the season. And the recurve just did not give me the range. It didn't give me the opportunity to do that. And, I've been talking about the fact that as much as I love a recurve, I don't have the confidence in it that I would like to have because I'm not willing to shoot it as much as I should. Terry says, how is the fishing out of Linwood? I don't know, Terry, because I don't fish out of Linwood. I fish out of Bay City. But I can tell you that it's been pretty slow. Chad says it makes next spring that much more rewarding once it happens for you. Well, the ultimate reward, Chad, would have been to kill that bird with a recurve after hunting for 6 weeks. But it wasn't meant to be. So I've decided I'm going to fully embrace going back to a crossbow. I've hunted with a crossbow for several years and loved it. I'm going back to a crossbow this fall. And looking forward to it. Because the thing about a crossbow is, if I do decide to take a critter, I have the ultimate confidence that when I put the crosshairs on that animal and pull the trigger, that it's going to be a quick, clean, humane killing shot, which is what I want when I go hunting. Brad said he had 4 toms hang up at 80 yards. That was the closest to any birds all season. Ed's going to go out of Linwood on Sunday. I am fishing out of Bay City tomorrow morning, weather permitting, and so far the report looks pretty good. I plan on hitting it pretty hard tomorrow morning. People were catching fish deep with crawlers on Monday. They've been catching fish okay at an okay rate deep with crawlers. That's been pretty consistent, Tim. And my skinny water is not going to go on plastic. So Tony and I are probably going to go out there in the morning and experiment, as long as he doesn't tell me what he's doing on his side of the boat, with some crawlers. People say, Avery, why don't you just pick up a shotgun and kill a bird with a shotgun? Because I could have killed 3 or 4 birds this season with a shotgun. I have nothing against guns. I love guns, but I have absolutely no desire to kill a turkey or a bear with a gun. I just feel like it would be too easy. And I'm not knocking the people who do it with a gun. It's just not something I choose to do. That's why I went to the recurve, because it was such a challenge. And I did challenge myself, and I just wasn't able to be successful. Want to shoot the 3D with me on the 13th in Bay City? 13th is a Sunday. I won't be able to do it. Thank you, Bill. I have to run. All right, Johnny. You have a great day, my friend. So those are the two big revelations for this morning. There may unknowingly be night crawlers on the Angler Quest tomorrow. As long as I don't know about them, Tony. I'm telling you, Tony, don't bring them. I don't want to know about them. But if a couple hours into the trip, your side of the boat is catching more fish, I'm going to see what you're putting down there. Good morning, Richard. How are you? Ryan's along with us. A pleasure. And then next fall, when the hunting season comes around, I'm going to have a crossbow in my hands. Archery and Krizaks. Pretty good combination there, Bill. What else? Tonight on Wednesday Night Live, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand is going to join me. Their store locator function is now live on their website, michiganbrand.net, and we will give away some Michigan Brand products tonight. And the next Wednesday Night Live on the 9th, we'll be live on Saginaw Bay fishing with Brad Dupuis of Apex Marine. He is Mr. Angler Quest. There's nothing, no, Brad, there's nothing wrong with a crossbow at all. The first time I actually picked up a crawler, I'm looking at Ed's post here. The first time I ever picked up a crossbow was back when they were first made legal in Michigan. And the reason I picked one up was because people were talking crap about them. And I said, I'm doing well on number 7 flicker shads, 1.5 to 1.8 purple. See, I'm not ready to give them up, Chad. I'm going to keep running them because I would prefer to catch fish on plastic any day of the week. That's a really slow speed, though, 1.5 to 1.8. You gotta love purple. Gotta love purple. No, nothing wrong with crossbow at all. And I will tell you this: people say, and I've heard people say this, and when they say it to me, they're saying it to the wrong person. I've had people, actually ignorant, uneducated people, tell me that Fred Bear would have not wanted anything to do with crossbows, which is absolute malarkey. Because the first time I ever saw a crossbow in my life, I was standing next to Fred Bear. It was at Grouse Haven, and we were up there with the Bear Archery people, and they were experimenting on the range with some very, very early models of crossbows, and Fred was watching them shoot. And he certainly didn't say anything about that's going to be bad for archery, or I don't like those things, or I don't want to put a Bear logo on those things. No. So anybody who says Fred Bear wouldn't like crossbows, honestly, has no idea what they're talking about. Definitely getting bigger fish on plastic. Now, Chad, it's interesting you say that because I had a report from a friend of mine who was fishing in much shallower than you are right now. Let's just say he was between where I've been fishing and where you've been fishing. And he was running crawlers, and he sent me a picture of the catch. And it was the biggest average catch. It was a 2-man limit. It was the biggest average size of fish I have seen on Saginaw Bay in the summertime in a long time. And he was catching them on meat on the bottom. So I think what we'll do in the morning is we'll make a couple of passes through the skinny water. If nothing is going, we're going to head deep, or at least deeper. I think that's going to be although if it gets warm like it's supposed to, right? The color of the water in the skinny water was actually pretty good. I was okay with the color, but there weren't any fish in there. The warm weather maybe should give us a little bit of an algae bloom, which should put some color in the water. Chad says, and Chad would know, Fred was all about getting as many people into the sport as possible. Chad sells a ton of bear crossbows, which again proves my point. Fred Bear was a purist, yes, but he was also a promoter, a marketer, and a proponent of archery, and he wanted as many people to get into bow hunting as possible. And no, I'm actually pretty excited about picking up a crossbow again. I hunted with the recurve for a couple of years, enjoyed it completely, but now I've decided that it's time to move on. What else? Promo codes. I got to talk about some promo codes. It shouldn't matter if you use a compound bow or a crossbow as long as you harvest the animal with an ethical kill shot. Absolutely. Amen, brother. 30 seconds. Charlie. See, here's the way. Welcome to my world, okay? I'm just in here cruising along. Charlie comes running in the door and says 30 seconds. Charlie, how am I supposed to eat 10 seconds? How am I supposed to ease into a show? Charlie.
Here we go.
Here we go. Well, he wasn't kidding. There's the open of the show right there. And that's the reason I'm here in the studio, is to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. So I'm going to do that right now. Feel free to stick around if you want. You'll be able to watch/hear the first segment of this week's radio show. And then tonight, 7 o'clock, Wednesday Night Live, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand will join me. We'll give away some Michigan Brand products. Next Wednesday, we'll be live on Saginaw Bay, weather permitting, fishing with Brad Dupuy of AnglerQuest. By the way, I love that new 826 Pro Troll. That 300-horse Merc is a beast, and it trolls down to 550 RPMs as smooth as you could ask for. All right, my friends, have a good day. I got to go to work. I know. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. My name is Mike Avery, and as always, I am glad to have you along with us as we continue this weekly 3-hour celebration of the history and tradition of the outdoor lifestyle. Hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping and all things wonderful, all things biologically sound, all things biologically necessary, just plain fun, ordained by God, if you want to go that route, and I'll go that route with you. Welcome to the month of June, by the way. We have not talked since it's been June, and, I think we're off to a pretty good start weather-wise. But, hey, it's the time of year where that's what you would start to expect, right? And since it is June, I have to ask you, did you remember to get your Michigan bear or elk permit application in? If you forgot, you're kind of hosed. Well, not really, because you can always put in for the pure Michigan hunt. If you win that, you get your choice of bear tags, and you get your choice of, you get a Michigan bull tag. But we'll see. We will know, I think, early June, those results are released. We'll see what happens. I am anxiously awaiting. I know I won't get an elk tag. And like I said last week, if I was ever going to get one, it would be this year, because I kind of made a mistake and put in for a cow tag, and I didn't really want to. I'm not sure. I mean, I knew what I was doing. I just wasn't thinking. So if I was ever going to get a Michigan elk tag, it's going to be this year, and it'll be a cow tag. And I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be disappointed, but I would wish then that I would have put in for the bull tag. But I wouldn't get a tag. Turkey season's over here in Michigan now after 6 weeks of hunting. And I hunted all 6 weeks. I told you last week that I was done turkey hunting. I told you I was done turkey hunting because I had the new AnglerQuest, and I was going to start walleye fishing, and it was getting too hot sitting in the blind anyway. Well, at the last minute, something changed. And that something was, last weekend, I cut down a big lilac bush, almost a small tree at the corner of the house. and I took it over to the brush pile at my buddy Doug's place. Now, my buddy Doug lets me hunt turkeys on his property as well. So I got the back of the truck. I'm at the back of the truck. I'm unloading this big lilac, throwing it on his brush pile. My wife, Denise, is with me. And she said, "Did you hear that?" Well, I didn't, because all I could hear was, brush sliding across the bed of the truck. I said, "No, what was it?" She said, "There's a turkey gobbling back in the woods." And this is 2:00 in the afternoon on a sunny springtime, late springtime, early summer day. And I said, So I unloaded the rest of the brush. We drove back to the edge of the woods, and sure enough, at 2:00 in the afternoon, this bird is going nuts just into the wood line. And I got thinking. That maybe, since this bird is so vocal and he's obviously roaming around looking for a hen, that maybe tomorrow, the next day, I should come back out and give it one last shot. No pun intended. And also, Bob Ransom of Primal had just sent me one of their Breeze blinds, which is designed for warm weather hunting. And that's another reason I quit hunting. The last time I was out in the blind, I love those Wraith blinds, but it was 75 degrees and it was miserable in that blind. And I said, I'm done. Well, I was done until this bird enticed me back into the woods. So I set up this new Breeze blind, which, by the way, I like these. They're actually designed to let a breeze flow through the blind. And it was very, very nice. I set it up on the edge of the woodlot. I was out there at 1:30 in the afternoon. And lo and behold, as I was setting up the blind, the bird starts to gobble just into the woods. I thought, Avery, you better hurry up, or this guy's going to be in your lap before you're even ready. I put a single hen decoy out in front of me, which I probably should have put a Jake out there too, but I didn't. I had a hen decoy with me. I set the hen decoy out there about 8 yards in front of me. Remember, I'm hunting with a recurve. I got my camera all set up. I got all ready to go. I made one call and the bird exploded. And now he's just into the woods. I mean, he's not too far from me at all. I called one more time and he gobbled again. And I shut up and I said, this bird is going to come in. He's hot. He's going to come in. He gobbled a few more times, then I shut up. And when he shut up, I knew that all was good, because I knew he shut up because he was looking at my decoy. I couldn't see him yet, but I knew he was close and he was looking at my decoy. Turns out he circled around behind me. Now, on this Breeze blind, it's not 270 degrees of visibility. It's not see-through like the Wraith is. But I had pulled the flap down in the corner of the blind so I could peek my head back and look out. I did that, and there, 15 yards away, is this big, beautiful longbird in full, a longbeard in full strut, looking at my decoy. And this is the closest I'd been to a bird in 6 weeks of hunting. And then he started to come in. And I said, Avery, you're going to be rewarded. You have hunted hard for 6 weeks. Now, on the second to last day of the season, you are going to get a shot at a bird. Boy, did he take his time coming in. I was hunting on a Christmas tree farm, and back where I was, there were a bunch of small, like 4-foot Christmas trees. When the bird would walk between the trees, he was outside the range of my recurve. And when he got in close enough to be in range, he was hiding behind those trees. I had him as close as 10 yards, and he was absolutely beautiful. He was in full strut almost the entire time. I could hear him, humming and drumming. You know that. If you've got a bird who's in strut and he's close, you know that sound. And I kept waiting. I thought, man, walk out from behind one of these trees. Walk out from behind one of these trees. And he never gave me a shot. 10 yards, and I couldn't get a shot. Eventually, he wandered off. I was able to call him back in, but I knew when I called him back in, he was not going to commit. He was going to stay out and gobble, and then I wasn't going to get a second chance at that bird. Never did get him. Never did get a bird this season, but it was a wonderful experience, a great way to end the season, and it got me thinking. I've told you probably 100 times by now that for me, the harvest, the kill is not the end goal of a hunt. For me, the experience of the hunt is the experience that I seek. But I will have to admit that I really, really wanted to shoot that bird. Again, after 6 weeks of hunting, at the end of the season, in a Hail Mary attempt, how rewarding, what a great story that would have been to be able to take that bird at that point. And the reason I couldn't was because I didn't have a shotgun in my hand, and I had a recurve. And I have decided that when the fall hunting season comes around, I will have a crossbow in my hands. Oh, I know, Avery, you're passing over to the dark side. I know you're taking the easy way out. Well, no. And when it comes to my hunting experience, I got to be honest, I really don't care what you think because it's my experience. I could pick up a shotgun. I could have killed 3 or 4 different birds this year with a shotgun, but it's not what I want to do. I have nothing against guns. I love guns. I have nothing against gun hunting, but I personally have no desire to kill a bird or a bear over bait with a gun. It's just not something I want to do. But I have decided that I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick up a crossbow for the fall season. And I'm pretty excited about it. But that's a few months off now, isn't it? In the meantime, there are walleye to be caught. I do have the Angler Quest now on the water. I've been out twice. I've been out fishing twice. I've stayed in my beloved Skinny Water both times to really try to give it a workout. The first time through there, I'll be honest, I didn't get a fish. Not a sheephead, not a pike, not a smallmouth, not a nothing. We were out the other day. I did get one nice fish in there. But it's pretty clear to me that I'm going to have to do something different this year. Whether it's commit to spending more time in the deeper water, or again, as long as I'm in a mood or a mode where I'm willing to try different things, I might actually unknowingly allow a buddy of mine, as long as he doesn't tell me, to sneak. Charlie's looking at me like, don't say it. To sneak night crawlers on the Angler Quest. There, I said it. Oh. You got to do what you got to do. Now, I did tell him, if you're going to do it, don't tell me about it. I don't want to know about it. We'll see how it goes. Coming up after the break, John Roby of Charter Fishing Mackinac talks about salmon fishing underneath the Big Mac Bridge. Then Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands talking about that new breeze blind and much more. And Scott Hamlin wraps up the first hour. He's with Boning Archery talking about their 75th anniversary. All that coming up in the first hour right here of Outdoor Magazine. I know. Crossbows and night crawlers in the same segment. I've truly crossed over to the dark side. I may be, as I was saying earlier, I may be stubborn, bullheaded, pig-headed, set in my ways, but I'm not stupid. All right, my friends, have a good day. Hopefully I'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock, for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand will join me. We'll give away some Michigan Brand meats. And then next Wednesday night, the 9th, weather permitting, we will be live from Saginaw Bay fishing with Brad Dupuis of Apex Marine. Have a great day, my friends.